Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaudiya Vaishnava Guruvar ki, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ji ki, Gaur Premanande. So, even at ICC, almost the same topic is going on. The 3-day seminar on the importance of Vaishnava bhajans. Especially, we are talking about Vaishnava bhajan means Gaudiya Vaishnava bhajans. And there are so many other Vaishnava sampradayas which are all very respected and they're all excellent in their own ways, but we have a certain mood. We are, who are we? Which sampradaya? I will make it a little interactive. Don't consider it as any kind of test if I'm asking any questions. You are there this morning? No, somebody similar to you. Just the attempt, genuine attempt to make an attempt is not a test. Krishna is pleased. Just like I always say this, that when a child is learning how to walk and he falls down so many times or she falls down, but parents are very happy. Oh, at least is genuinely trying to walk. So similarly, please don't feel shy if I'm asking a question. If you feel like answering, please raise your hand and we can make it a little interactive. That way, we make sure everybody's awake. Hare Krishna. So, can somebody quickly give me their understanding about our Gaudiya Vaishnava, who we are? Brahma Madhva Gaudiya, very nice. So, our initial first Guru is Sri Krishna himself from Golok Vrindavan. He imparted the knowledge to who? Lord Brahma. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavai. Adi Kavi is Lord Brahma. And within his heart, all our Gaudiya Vaishnavas are excellent poets. So, Adi Kavi, the first poet, is Lord Brahma. One request to all of you, no children should be playing. No. If the children are small and they cannot be, then they should not be. No, I don't want her to face her back against the Vyasasana. Number one. Number two, please check your phones. Hari Katha, Hari Kirtan, Hari Naam, Hari Gun, Hari Dham are Sri Hari. Unless and until we, at least on an informational basis, we do not absorb that, then we will never advance in Krishna consciousness. We are thinking we are advancing, but we are not. Please repeat this sloka after me, and then maybe perhaps this will stay in our hearts. Nama Chintamani, loudly and clearly, please. Nama Chintamani, Nama Chintamani, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Rasa, Vigraha, Purna Shuddha, Nitya Mukta, Abhinnatvam, Namna, Namino. Meaning, the holy names of the Lord, and holy names means everything to do with Krishna. Whether it is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or we just did Gaurarti, or now we are hearing the Kirti, the glories through Katha of Krishna and Krishna's great Vaishnavas. So, our Shastra says that Nama Chintamani, the holy names, is like touchstone. Chintamani means whatever you think, in your heart, whatever we have, this Nam will deliver, or Krishna's prayers will deliver to us. But the best optimal use of Harinam or Kirtan or whatever activities in Bhakti is to obtain pure Bhakti. Not that like in most Hindu temples, everybody sings, Om Jai Jagadisha Hare, Gardana Ave, Sukh Sampati Ave, $1 kamave, America jave, crore kamave. Jai, that is not true Bhakti. That is Karma Mishra Bhakti. So we have to, our standard of Gaudiya Vaishnavism is very high, not some ordinary standard. There is no place for Karma Mishra Bhakti, Gyan Mishra Bhakti, only Shuddha Bhakti. So we are most fortunate that we have taken somehow or the other due to our past Sukruti, uh, due to our past karma, we have somehow or the other come in this line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we are trying to become Rupanugas, followers of Rupa Goswami, and following Srila Prabhupada, uh, or we are becoming Prabhupada followers to the stricter sense. Now, therefore, I always have to spend about 10 minutes, precious time, because time is always limited in any katha. That we never teach our children, we also don't teach ourselves how to respect our own dharma. See, we have to see from others. I have in 37 years living in United States and Canada, I have represented our Iskcon movement in many interfaith meetings where we have discussions with the persons who are representing their own faith, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Jewish faith, Baha'i, Buddhism, Buddhists, etc. Please sit down. Okay? Don't move. Prabhupada never liked it, and neither do I like it. Sorry to say that. And this is exactly what I'm trying to say, bring home. And please pay attention on this. My heart is burning when I see this. Most of the Iskcon temples, Hindu temples forget, but even Iskcon temples, 95 to 98% are all Indian body devotees, even in North America, even in Europe. So many places I have gone. And we find that our children are let loose to play. This is not a playground. We should train them from right. Kaumaram Acharat Pragya Dharman Bhagavatiya. This Bhagavad Dharma. If one Maulvi is leading namaz in the masjid, all are following and praying. No children are playing, no phones are ringing, nobody's talking, not even the adults. Then why can't we respect our own dharma? That is your Gandharvika, Giridhari, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Here is the Prabhupada. And here is some katha. So we should respect our dharma. If we don't respect, they are laughing behind our backs. That these Hindus don't know anything. They are simply a bunch of sentimental fools. That's what they call us. Okay? And 20 years, 30 years from now, trust me, this is going to happen. History is going to repeat if we don't open our eyes, if we are not jagrut. That what happened several hundred years ago, the Mughals came and invaded India. They forcefully converted the Brahmins and the Vaishnavas into Muslims. Uh, they beat them up. They came into our temples. They broke the deities. They put a big scale. You know now, Tuldan they do for Bhagavad Gita. Have you seen that? Yes or no? And one person is sitting and they put that many Bhagavad Gita. Such big scales they used to bring in our temples, and they used to put the broken deities, their arms, their legs, their thighs, their head on one side, and they would put cow meat on one side in front of everyone. They would urinate. They would forcefully convert. Why? Because we allowed it, because we are weak. And if we continue to be weak, this is exactly what is going to repeat again, because their population is increasing. This is not a lecture on politics. But some people say, oh, we are in India so doing so well. Yogi ji, Modi ji, they are there, but how long will they be there? Being in Krishna consciousness, we should know that Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara praptis dhiras tatrana muyati. At the end, everything is finished. The body is finished. So what is going to happen to these children? We will not be there, some of us. 20 years, 30 years down the road, we will not have these temples. Unfortunately, they will all be gone. They will take over, they will forcefully convert into masjid or even to a Christian church. They will take it away from us. And this is happening. Slowly and surely, wherever I go, I generally stay 6 months in India. And I travel all many places. And I'm seeing every year, I'm getting these reports that the number of Christians are increasing, the number of Muslims are increasing. Who is to be blamed? Not them, us. Because we don't have enough preaching. And Iskcon is the only movement that preaches the most among Sanatan Dharma. And the education is completely free. If you have to put your children in the best schools, private schools, it costs a lot of money, a lot of fees. If you have to put them in college, good colleges, it's a lot of money. And then for further education, you send them to United States or some Western countries, it costs lakhs of rupees, sometimes in crores. Here we are getting the highest Vijnanam free, but we have no respect for it. So, for example, Prabhupada was very clear on that. If a child is crying, playing, they are not to be blamed. Parents have to train them. If they cannot be controlled, parents should sacrifice. In our Sanatan Dharma, it is very clearly said, Sarvena Sukhi Bhavantu, not just me. I understand that parents are interested in hearing the Katha. But if the child is disturbing, then it is your fiduciary duty, every parent, to take the child outside or to a playroom or in another room so that everybody else can really understand. Unless we understand, if we don't do Shravanam, how we can do Kirtanam? Kirtanam means glorifying. And if we don't do Shravan and Kirtan properly, how will we do Smaranam? Not possible. So in Navada Bhakti, the first process is Shravanam. How do we take the darshan of Krishna? Uh, People say with eyes. No, our acharyas and our shastra says with ears. That is the primary way to take darshan of Krishna. So sitting here, we can be speaking about Vrindavan, we can be speaking about so many wonderful topics, but we can be transported to that location. Although we may not be there geographically, but in our hearts and souls and minds, we can be transported in our consciousness. And that is why Srila Prabhupada called this movement Krishna consciousness. Amazing two words. Prior to coming to Iskcon, although I was born in a Vaishnava family, in the Sri Vallabh Sampradaya family, the Pushti Marga, the founder of the Pushti Marg, uh, but there was no preaching, no understanding. There were so many wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis in our family, but there was no preaching. And when I came to the United States, that's when I came across ISKCON. And that's when I got the Association of Devotees and the books of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. And that changed my life. And I could understand better what Krishna is and even the different Vaishnavas, whether they are in Sri Sampradaya or any other Sampradaya. What is the definition of a Vaishnava? It's by education. So education is very important. So we should be very good. Don't feel bad when I'm speaking this. My heart is burning actually. Instead of going into the main topic, I always have to, because even where I go in different places in North America, children are let loose, play. Why? When a father is giving sermon in the church, pin drop silence. Even when one pin drops, there you can hear it. Why we cannot maintain that? This is Sakshat Bhagwan, Prabhupada. Where is the respect? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyate, tam sa tathaiva bhajamyam. As you worship me, I reciprocate. So if we put him on a back burner, we call that in the United States back burner. Burner means on a stove. Let's say you have 4 burners, right? So in America, when they say back burner, means we don't give that much importance. We have other priorities. In the back burner, what we put, something that is very swimming and slow, that is already, we don't pay much attention. But what is in the front, we pay attention. So it's a saying in the American society that, he doesn't care. He has just put these things on the back burner. So we don't want Krishna on the back burner. He should be on the foremost position in our lives, regardless of which ashram we are. And if we don't teach these children, tomorrow they will grow up, they will get married. And their children will bring, according to the sanskars, they will still come to the temple because they are pious. And their children will not be also be taught the same thing that they needed to be teach themselves. So this is our problem. And the other day in K.R.Puram, the topic that I was asked to give was that impediments in Krishna consciousness, challenges in Krishna consciousness. This is a big challenge. We think that because we have those who are initiated, they get their first initiation, they think, wow, now I've attained Vaikuntha. The rest of them are just, and the attitude changes. That is Kanishta. There are 3 kinds of Vaishnavas, actually 9 kinds. But let's say 3 major classes, like Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam. Kanishta Vaishnava, and within that there are 3 categories. Kanishta, Madhyam, Kanishta, Uttam. Madhyam, Kanishta, Madhyam, Uttam. Uttam, Kanishta, Uttam, Madhyam, and Uttam. So, what is the Lakshana or the symptoms of a Kanishta Vaishnava? Believes in Krishna to a certain extent. Not have firm faith, but some faith. But doesn't consider everybody else, doesn't respect the devotees. So that is a Kanishta Vaishnava, the definition. Shastra has given, Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. Many places Srila Prabhupada has also mentioned. So, do we need to remain on the Kanishta platform? That's the question. And how do we raise our bar with the Kanishta? From Kanishta to Madhyam is by the association, deep desire. We have to cry. His Holiness Nitya Leela Pravishta Om, uh, Srimad Gaur Govind Maharaj used to say that we have to open a crying school. We don't cry enough. Everything we take for granted. Mandir granted, place of socializing. No. Today I'm going to discuss, along with the meaning of this bhajan, so many important components that really govern our life if we want to advance. If we want to remain where we are, Srila Prabhupada said that Krishna consciousness is dynamic, it's not stagnant. The moment we feel stagnant, that okay, now we have achieved enough, I have got initiation, first initiation, second initiation, or some have received sannyas, that is good enough. No, initiation means what? If you look up the dictionary, Google it, beginning. It is the beginning of a spiritual life. Not that we have already entered Vaikuntha and the rest of the devotees, those who have not taken initiation, they are Andu Pandu. No, not that. Sorry to say that, but that attitude comes. The first initiation person taken second initiation thinks, oh, now I'm Brahmana. He will display his big chanoi everywhere he goes. Brahman means Brahman Janaditi Brahman. One who is Krishna conscious in the true sense is the real Brahman. One who knows Brahman Janadi. Brahman means Supreme Brahman is Sri Krishna. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Paritra. Right? In Bhagavad Gita, Param Brahma. Knowing that Param Brahma is Brahman. So, just by displaying big tilak, nice dhoti, nice kurta, nice sari, we do not become Vaishnavas. Sorry to say that. Displaying Kantimala. In fact, we are committing offenses if we really don't follow what our acharyas have given us. Then it is simply show bottle business. Prabhupada has used these words many times. Show bottle. You see, if you go to some nice shop, they have some nice colored bottles. Inside there is nothing. Show bottle. There is no real substance. So we have to be very careful. And charity begins at home, as they say. We have to have that respect for the dharma. Otherwise, neither the Muslims nor the Christians, nobody will respect us. Today they celebrate Christmas all over the world. Today is Christmas Eve. Even we have our Hindu malls and all. What is this nonsense? What has asked the God to do? Sanatan Dharma is way beyond Christianity. Way beyond. When Professor Sathars from Ohio State University in 1920s, when he met his divine grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, there was a conversation between on theism and especially on Sanatan Dharma. So Professor Sathars was a professor on theology, on religion. Somebody's phone is crying still. Please, I humbly request you. Thank you so much. So that professor of theology he asked Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur that you're speaking about all these wonderful things, but how do we know that all these things are existing? You're talking about Vaikuntha, the place where there is no anxiety, no birth, no death, no disease, no old age. That is the meaning of Vaikuntha. Vai means no, and Kuntha means anxiety. The land or the place or the region where there is no anxiety, because once one enters the Vaikuntha region, doesn't have ordinary body. They get spiritual body that is not subject to decay, like or the body that we have. Srila Prabhupada said every moment we are dying, and we are celebrating according to all these Westerners. Happy birthday to you. What is so happy about these birthdays? Not very happy. According to karma, we have to take birth. When Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when Srila Prabhupada, when he was a young man, he was ready to go to home. He was working for the Dr. Karthik Bose laboratory. And his friend came, Narendra Malik, and said, Abhay, let's go. Today a wonderful sadhu has come in Kolkata. We should take his darshan. He said, no, I don't want to go. I saw my father. He was such a wonderful, pious man, very innocent. That anytime anybody who came in the sadhu's garb, wearing the saffron, he would call them in the house, feed them, and also give them dakshina. And I have seen with my own eyes, when they go around the corner, they buy bidi tobacco, and all those things that a sadhu should not be doing. They spend that money on the dakshina on that. I'm not interested. I have my little Radha Govind and I will worship them when I go home. On the street, there was a tug of war. Like, he's catching his sleeve. Abhay, 5 minutes. He says no. Abhay, 5 minutes. He said no. Then he said, okay, fine. Just 5 minutes I will come. So he goes there, and there is the lectures at number 1 Ultadanga Road. On the Gaudiya temporary place was there on the terrace. At that time, one sadhu sitting erect with round rimmed glasses, very, very serious katha was going on. And when Prabhupada and Narendra Malik sat in the back, he glanced at Abhay Charan De. You seem to be a very educated person. You should preach the words or the Vani of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Immediately he said that. And then after the lecture was over, Abhay Charan De, he stood up and he asked, Swamiji, this was 1922. Swamiji, who is going to listen to our Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad, or Mahaprabhu's Vani? Right now we are slaves. We need to be freed from the clutches of the British Raj. That was, and he had already joined the Gandhi movement. Our Prabhupada at that time, Abhay Charan De, he had even rejected the convocation degree that was bestowed upon him by the Scottish Churches College, and he had taken to the non-violence movement of Gandhiji. Swaraj, we will only wear Indian clothes made by our own hand, no imported clothes from the East India Company. No, we will reject everything that is British. That was the movement that he was following very nicely. And then, what is the answer? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was sitting there. He said, are you really free? You said we are talking about freedom, but the soul, according to karma, has to take birth. Some people are extremely poor. I'm just adding to this. Are you really free? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said. You must, according to karma, take birth. You must die, and in between, you must fall sick or get many diseases and get old. Where is the freedom then? The freedom I'm talking about is the freedom of the soul that is entrapped in this material body. What is the guarantee that today we will free India? 200, 400 years down the road, India will be again annexed, and some other country will rule India again, or any other country can rule any other country. He said, politics will not change, but politicians will change. And at that time, Abhay Charan De, he cried when he went home and said, Baba, oh father, I found my Guru. He said, I have been defeated in the debate. He thought it was a wonderful argument. Just like Arjun, in the beginning, in the first chapter, is arguing. No need of fighting. Right? It is better, I take a kamandal, begging pot, and beg. Instead of, on the blood of all my relatives, even if I win the Rajya, I'm not going to be peaceful. So many people will be killed, and the ladies will become widows, and then the children will not be protected because they don't have their father. How dare can I fight in front of my Guru Dronacharya, my Guru Kripacharya, my great grandsire Bhishmadev? Wonderful arguments, right? Wonderful arguments. So, like that, Abhay Charan De also did the same thing. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur removed those doubts. Just like Krishna removed the doubts of Arjun. Nashtamo smriti labda tvat prasadat maya chuda gata sandeha sthito asmi karishye vachanam tava. I will do exactly as you say, O Krishna. Now by your mercy, all my doubts have been eradicated. And I have been situated in my proper intelligence. So, that is what this Krishna conscious movement is. To establish us. That is one of the principal, out of the 7 fundamental reasons why Iskcon was made. One of the most important ones is to systematically propagate Krishna consciousness to create a revolution in the hearts of people for their eternal benefit. That is the reason why Iskcon is created. So we are most fortunate, and I sometimes like to give this example that supposing if a student gets admission in one of the best colleges like IIT or IIM, business administration, or in United States they get Harvard, Stanford, all those great universities are there, and they get admission. And then if they are simply not interested in their subject matter, sitting in the back last bench, they're simply thinking about some other subject matters, right? Then have their heart wasted their seat? Yes or no? Only few people. Yes or no? Yes. Thank you. So we would have wasted our seat in this wonderful college. The dean is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the principal is Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. If we do not take advantage, somehow or the other we got admission. Jena Kena Prakarena. And if we simply waste this seat, very, very precious, because human form of life is extremely precious. And in spite of getting human form of life, to come into Mahaprabhu's movement is extremely precious. Not everybody gets that opportunity. But most of us, we have no idea what Mahaprabhu wanted, what the principles of Gaudiya Vaishnavism are. Can I ask somebody here? Please raise your hand. In one line, what is the highest Siddhant of Gaudiya Vaishnavism? Anybody, please? Yes, Prabhu? Okay, good point. But are you saying the Sri Sampradayas don't remember Krishna and they never heard some of the pure devotees like Ramanujacharya, just to quote the highest one among Sri Sampradaya? Yes, in the back? To preach Krishna consciousness. So I can give another example. All the other bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas, they're not preaching Krishna consciousness. They're also preaching. But of course, not on the scale of Iskcon, as an example. But good point, good point. Yes, there. That is the specialty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what is the specialty? Our specialty. You're right. Anarpita Chirajan, nothing that has ever been offered that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and offered. But what is that offering? That's my question. Krishna Prem is there even in other sampradayas. You go to Vrindavan, there are 5,000 temples and a lot of them are bona fide. They are just not, we think that only Iskcon is bona fide. That's not true. There are so many other Vaishnava sampradayas that are bona fide. Now you are talking, Mataji. Madhurya Ras Prema. Aradhya Bhagwan Brajesh Tanaya Stadham Vrindavana Ramya Kachit Upasna Vrajavadu Vargena Taya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavata Purana Malam Prema Pumartho Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matahidam Na Yatra Agraha Para. This is from Chaitanya Manjusha. Another wonderful biography of Mahaprabhu. We have generally heard about Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat. We have heard of another book called Chaitanya Mangal. This is Chaitanya Manjusha. That is the Mangalacharan. So, if there are so many different types of Krishnas, but we are only concerned with the son of Nanda Maharaj. Now, this comes as a shock to many people. The Krishna in Vrindavan is not the same Krishna who spoke Bhagavad Gita. This information is there because we have to read Prabhupada's purports very carefully. There's a word in Srimad Bhagavatam during the 10th canto, 2nd chapter, the birth of Lord Krishna, the word Nanda Atmaja is used. That means he is directly the son of Nanda Maharaj. When, very briefly, just so that this concept will become clear. When Vasudev's son was born in the jail in Mathura, he's known as Vasudev Krishna. Okay, that's grammar, when the A comes. So we have to be very careful when we pronounce properly. Even I see sometimes, I hear that many devotees, when they speak Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra, I would say 80 or 90% are pronouncing incorrectly. Namam Vishnu Padaya. Very nice. Everybody who said Saraswati is perfect. Those who said Saraswati is wrong. Saraswati is in Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's name because his name was given he was given the title of Saraswati because of his erudite scholarship in astrology, and he had written this book, Surya Siddhanta. So that's why his name was Saraswati, and he also got the suffix. Saraswati was his prefix, and his Saraswati was his prefix, and suffix was Siddhanta. Therefore, so Saraswati. But because Srila Prabhupada is the transcendental son of Saraswati Thakur, he becomes Saraswati Devi. So it's very important. We hear that even from sannyasis, Prabhupada disciples, Western devotees. But we are from Bharat. We should have that, especially all are from Dakshin Bharat. When the Brahmanas, they chant the slokas, it's so perfect. They're well known in Dakshin Bharat that not even a syllable will go here and there. Right? Of course, somebody can say that Krishna is Bhavagrani Janardana. True. But then, is it not our fiduciary duty to properly pronounce the mantras? Because in the Vedic Sanskrit, if even a little bit syllable here and there, the meaning becomes different. So that is not the whole idea. So Viktisiddhanta Sri Thakur Prabhupada, he told him that the real freedom is the freedom of the soul. And then he took to this Krishna consciousness very seriously, and he cried and told his father, I lost in a debate. Just like Arjuna lost in a debate with Krishna. Sounded so good, no fighting. Somebody will say, what kind of Hindu God you have that is encouraging fighting? And the devotee is saying no fight. So we should be able to answer those questions nicely, especially those who are book distributors, not simply like, salesmen. We are not selling washing powder. We are distributing love. We are distributing Prabhupada's mercy. So Prabhupada has always stressed, you read my books properly. At least we don't say that you have to learn all the 700 slokas by heart. We don't need to become Shloka Tota or Shloka Loka. No. We need to become Sargrahi Vaishnavas. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says Sargrahi. We need to take the essence of the message. And the purest message can be found in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Nowhere anywhere else. Trust me, I have tried many, many different places, philosophies before I came to Iskcon. And there is no need to go. Some I see go to Vrindavan and they run around to that Baba, this Baba, and they listen to Katha. I have made that mistake many years. 15 years I used to go around whenever I went to Vrindavan to hear. But later on, by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, Sri Prabhupada has given us everything. Yamuna Mataji, one Prabhupada's disciple, she asked Prabhupada, Yamuna Mataji is the one that Govinda Madi Purusham in the morning, we put that tape during Darshanarti. She sang it. So she asked Prabhupada one day, Prabhupada, after you are gone, but we have heard that in order to advance in Krishna consciousness and get Vraj Bhav, the mood of Vrindavan, then we have to take guidance under a Vrajvasi. So how do we get that? So Prabhupada said, I am that Vrajvasi. My books. Some of the other people outside of Iskcon, they say, your Swami Maharaj. Actually, they don't even call him Prabhupada. Prabhupada's initiated sannyas name was Swami Maharaj. Just like some gurus we have, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Jai Pataka Swami, Bhakti Charu Swami, etc. So Prabhupada's name was very simple after he took sannyas. His senior god brother, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, gave him and one more senior to him, Brahmachari, he became Muni Maharaj. And Prabhupada, our Abhay Charan Dey became Abhay Charanarvinda Das, he became Swami Maharaj. So they say that your Swami Maharaj can only give you ABCs. But if you need to learn more, you come to us about Rajras, about Raganuga Bhakti. They say that. So, actually, again, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and senior Vaishnavas, 7 years ago, I gave a seminar on Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishta Bhutale in Kartik, in our Vrindavan Krishna Balram Mandir. And at the end, there were some questions, and even Prabhupada disciples asked me questions. And one Prabhupada disciple said that they say this, that our Swami Maharaj has only given us ABC. You come to us to get the real ras of Vrindavan. That question was posed. So what do you have to say to that? After the seminar, that question was asked to me. Tough question. But tough question means tough answers. Not to simply butter somebody. No, that Siddhanta is there. Of course, those who are interested may kindly go on our Vrindavan Iskcon website and just type uh, Prabhupada Pranam Mantra, and you can put my name, Satchitananda Das, and you will find Satchitananda Prabhu as they put it. I don't know how they put it. And you will find there are like 3 days of that, no, 2 days of that seminar, but it lasted for 3-4 hours each, something like that, if it's been a long time. But the point being that to those persons who ever say that we should be ready to answer, we should be able to defend His divine grace. Because we don't know, we will keep quiet. Or we will even join them. Who said Sri Prabhupada did not give us rasa? What is Chaitanya Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita? It is full about Radharani, it is full about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is Mahaprabhu? Who is Mahaprabhu? Who said in the mood of Radharani? That is perfect answer. He is Krishna of Vrindavan. So as I was saying, when Vasudev Krishna was born in Mathura, Vasudev took him across the Jamuna, took him to Gokul. Everybody was asleep. And at that time, simultaneously, Mother Yashoda had given birth to Yashodanandan Krishna and to twin Yogamaya Kanya. Both were born to her. And Prabhupada writes in her deep slumber as she fell asleep. And at that time, Vasudevji came with Vasudev Krishna. And Yogamaya had covered Nandanandan Krishna. He could not see Nandanandan Krishna. He could only see the baby girl. He took an exchange, and the rest is history. You all know that. But when the moment Vasudev left, Sri Vasudevji left, Nandanandan, the Nandanandan Krishna and Vasudev Krishna, they merged into one. They became one body. This is the secret. Harivansh, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Rupa Goswami in his commentaries, Jiva Goswami in his commentaries, even Srila Prabhupada, we sing this bhajan, Bhaja Ure Mana Sri Nanda Nandana Abhay Charnar Vindare. Prabhupada immediately about 30 years ago I had heard Prabhupada sing it, and he heard the purport on that bhajan on a tape. So he says, Bhaja Ure Mana. Govindas is convincing his mind. Hure Mana, my dear mind. Abhay Charnar Vindare. Please worship the Sri Nanda Nandan, the son of Nanda Maharaj. And immediately Prabhupada says, there are many types of Krishna, but as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are only concerned with the son of Nanda Maharaj. So yes, of course, we are also concerned with Vasudeva Krishna initially, because we need to understand Bhagavad Gita. He spoke it. But we are not going to eternally remain in Bhagavad Gita. It is like staying in the 10th grade, and our parents and grandparents will say, no, at least this year you pass and move on. So nothing wrong. Bhagavad Gita is most essential to build our foundation. Prabhupada said, study that systematically, then go to Srimad Bhagavatam, first 9 cantos, then enter into the 10th canto, then go into Chaitanya Charitamrita, then we will be able to understand the higher nuances of bhakti. Not that we ignore Bhagavad Gita, but at some point, our determination or our aspirations will increase. Just like a child, you ask him, what will you like to become when you grow up? Immediately say, uncle, I would like to become a doctor. Already has set his aspirations. Doctor, doctor, doctor. And eventually that child, because he's so determined, even mother and father remind, oh, you wanted to become a doctor, right? Then you better study hard. And he studies very hard and finally becomes a doctor. But when he's a child, he says, I want to become a doctor, not become a doctor yet. But at least that mindset is there. Similarly, our mindset should be there to go beyond Bhagavad Gita and enter into Srimad Bhagavatam nicely, and then other Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures. If that informational level at least we get, but most of us, we miss that part of the informational level also. So, and how we can get that aspiration or that deep desire? By associating with such advanced devotees. If you want to advance in a particular game, let's say cricket, but if you play with some weak persons, you will never advance. But if you play cricket with somebody who is very strong, although he may clean bowl you 5 times, in and over, but eventually, when you keep playing, you will advance. Similarly, our deep, deep prayer should be, Krishna, please send me advanced devotees. And best advanced devotee that we have in our movement is His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. We don't read his books enough. We don't read his books enough. Today, the deterioration, slowly the weakness is coming into our movement. Second generation devotees are writing books. Very good. Write, keep writing. But don't neglect Prabhupada's books and don't neglect to promote Prabhupada's books. We are also so sentimental that we promote our Guru Maharaj's, respect to Guru Maharaj's books. But we are not still as much with that much gusto promoting Srila only in December, marathon month. What about the other 11 months? That is, where did our Guru Maharaj learn everything? From Srila Prabhupada. Right? We should never forget that. He is the predominating Acharya forever. My Guru Maharaj said that. He is our Acharya. He never appointed anybody else. Of course, I'm not giving support to the Ritviks because they also use that same argument. But their philosophy is, especially on the initiation, is completely bogus. No. Then the other day I went to Hare Krishna Hill. This is my first time in Bangalore after many years. I came just, when I was in my FY in college. But that time I was not in Iskcon. But this is my first visit. And I'm amazed at all the wonderful devotees here, how they are, taking Krishna consciousness seriously. But I said, let's take it more seriously. Let's not become stagnant. So I found one brahmachari there. He was the temple commander. He happened to be there. And respectfully, I just struck a conversation with him. About an hour and 15 minutes we talked. And I asked him, everything that you are doing is wonderful, just like what we do in Iskcon. Just like, Mangalarti, Guru Puja, Darshanarti, all these things you all are doing, all the artis, everything you're doing. But Prabhuji, one thing I don't understand about the initiation concept. Why you are taking initiation in front of Prabhupada? That is why you see, if you go, I told my wife immediately when I went there, bowed down before Prabhupada. Before I bowed down to Prabhupada, I saw Prabhupada's hand was like this. Have you all noticed if you have gone to Hare Krishna Hill? Because we hold the fingers in the mala. So when they take initiation, they put the mala in between these two fingers of Prabhupada. That's why Prabhupada's hand is raised like this. And they take initiation by putting one japa mala and then they become Prabhupada disciples. So that is not the system. If Krishna and Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godheads, Lord Balaram is none other than the Adi Guru. He took initiation from Sandipani Muni. They took initiation from Sandipani Muni. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna of Vrindavan in the mood of Srimati Radharani, he himself took initiation from Ishwarpuri. Our Srila Prabhupada took initiation from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, live person. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur took initiation, live person, from Srila Gaur Kishore Maharaj. Like that, whole parampara they have taken. And if we simply take initiation in front of a photograph or a deity, thinking we are initiated by Srila Prabhupada, that is the biggest mistake. So then eventually in our discussion, he said, I cannot really answer very deeply this question. Although he is temple commander, he is leading the whole temple. Maybe you can meet His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu. He is not here today, he has gone to Udupi. I said, okay, call me. Anytime. I'm here till 31st in Bangalore. And I'll be happy to meet him and have a nice Vaishnava-like discussion. Maybe he can help me eradicate my doubts. And maybe I can ask him some questions. Why? I understand that he may be disappointed. Who said that we are not disappointed in our movement? This is not a movement of roses. A lot of thorns are there. Every day there are thorns. Every day there are challenges. But do we leave the movement? Do we reinvent so many devotees? Even Prabhupada disciples, sometimes they don't see eye to eye. Right? But do they change the philosophy? No, they don't do that. So out of frustration, you just don't go because you are popular and you have a lot of money. You don't change the philosophy. And then they are quoting Prabhupada's letters, Prabhupada's statements. Well, in order to understand Prabhupada, I say one has to be extremely mature to understand His divine grace. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada makes two opposing statements. And to reconcile, we have to understand this example that I'm giving. I gave that Prabhuji in the car while he was driving me, this example. That supposing we are staying in a building that has got so many flats, we have so many neighbors. The flat door is open next door. We are walking past the flat, and there is a father sitting there, and his son is standing in front, and the father is simply hugging the son and saying very loudly, "You are the best son in the world." And the neighbor is passing by, and he hears that part, and immediately he tells everybody in the society, in that flat number 305, that father said that he is the best son in the world. He's so much appreciating his son. Now, another day, another person passes by, and he hears the father chastising and saying, "You're a number one donkey." Same father, same son. Two opposite statements. So, how do we reconcile Prabhupada's statements? Prabhupada said, "You all become gurus." And Prabhupada said that no, when you become gurus, your disciples, they will become my disciples. So, they are catching some parts of the philosophy and trying to, commit, in one sense, they are committing offenses, but we should not. That's what I tell everyone. Don't counter-react. Counter-reaction is a big thing. Or what? Even small people like Durvasa Muni, they like to counter-react, give shrapa. But the pure devotees never do that. Na prati kurvanti. In Srimad Bhagavatam and King Chitraketu's prasanga, when King Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati. So he accepted the curse, but he was also very powerful. He could have counter-cursed, but he just simply accepted it. We don't need to get into any arguments. We are fine where we are situated. We are following His divine grace and the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So we can pray for them. That's what we need to do. That is Vaishnava etiquette. Not that we get into some kind of a dispute or argument. No. That is not proper, in my humble opinion. And that's what I told him also. That they should stop. Everything started from Iskcon. Everything started, the lotus feet is the roots of pure bhakti. Shuddha bhakata charane renu bhajane anukula. The lotus feet of the pure devotees is most conducive to devotee, to bhakti. Bhajane anukul, to bhajan. So, but those who get distracted by assets, by properties, and that problem is there even in our movement. We also get distracted. But we should not get distracted. That is my humble opinion and my prayer. So we should be very careful. Not that if we come to our temple, I have seen that our Iskcon temple, sometimes they whisper, "Don't talk to him, he's Ritvik." We don't even offer them any water. We don't even offer them prasadam. And we kick them out. No, that is not. We allow in Iskcon, everybody is welcome. Do you know who is walking in that door? Somebody says in Whitefeld, in the AECS layout, AECS layout, there is a nice temple and so many devotees are coming. So the person is curious, he comes. We welcome him, right? And he's eating meat. He's taking onion garlic. We welcome him with open arms. At least those people are chanting Hare Krishna. At least they are doing. So out of the 100 things, 99 things they are doing correct. One thing they have done, they have made a mistake. So we can pray for them. How? Are we saying that all of us here are pure? Even after taking initiation, so many devotees are digressing, unfortunately. So many sannyasis have fallen down. Right? So why hang those? So we should have then we are really family of Mahaprabhu. Then we are, because he came to give love. He came to give love. Love for all. Even Jagai Madai Lord Nityananda, who beat him up on his head with a liquor pot, oozing with so much blood. Nityananda Prabhu forgive them. But that does not mean that we follow their philosophy. We can be nice. We should not cross our Vaishnava etiquette. That's what I'm saying. So that is what I was trying to say in the beginning, that let us show a lot of respect to our movement, to Srila Prabhupada, to Harinam, Harikirtan, Harikatha, etc., the form of the Supreme Lordships, and therefore we can make our life successful. And this is what we need to teach our children. Kaumaram acharat pragya, dharman bhagavatiha, durlabam manusya deha, tadapi arthadam adruvam. Prahlad Maharaj says this. Right from the age of Kaumar, 4 years, 5 years, we should give them Bhagavad Dharma. Teach them the proper sanskars. Why? Durlabam manusya deha, because this body, human form of life is extremely rare. Somebody can ask, it is rare, but it is temporary. Adruvam. Yes, Prahlad Maharaj says it is temporary, but it can give us tadapi arthadam, the highest arthadam. Arthadam means the highest meaning of our existence. And especially, it further refines into further purity and purity. Just like milk is good, but when you heat it up on a low flame, it becomes thicker. Then it is ready to make kheer. Then you even further on the low flame, you keep on churning and churning. It becomes thick like rabdi. Huh? And then even that one, you keep on churning and churning and churning. It becomes like mawa, koya. I don't know what it's called in Kannada. But you understand, or it becomes barfi. Right? So this Gaudiya Vaishnavism is the barfi. Rest of them can be very good. Good milk is good. Kheer is good. The more condensed milk, etc. is very good. But barfi is the best. So that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us. And all our acharyas, they are amazingly, you know who they are in Radha Krishna's Leela? What is their constitutional position? Very nice. Who said that? Well, you had heard it before. You should have given. That is another thing. We think we know it all and we want to show off. That everybody will say, wah, 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 wah. I didn't expect that from you, Prabhuji. Because you are in Kerpuram, you heard all my classes. We should give others to a chance. And if others cannot answer it, then that will be the perfect spot to come in. We all want to become Gyanis and we all want to become Gurus. That is the biggest problem. Even this morning only, very, very tough question, tough answer. We very loosely use the word Shiksha Guru. The person who is leading our Bhakti Vriks, we call him Shiksha Guru. No, he is not our Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru is we find on the altar. Shiksha Guru of Srila Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj is Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Shiksha Guru is Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Our Shiksha Guru is His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada because we read his books. He did not initiate us. He never gave us the Harinam. But he gave us Shiksha. So very loosely we use, and those who accept that title, knowingly or unknowingly they accept it, they are pardoned. But knowingly if they accept, then it's an offense. Supposing if somebody says that, Prabhuji, I like your lecture so much, you are wonderful, you are just like Prabhupada. First thing I will feel so bad and I will feel like slapping him. How dare you compare me with Prabhupada? Sorry to use those harsh words, but that's the feeling that will come in my heart. And none of our gurus, whether my guru, your guru, are equal to Prabhupada. None of them. But we are very sentimental. And that is why slowly and slowly Prabhupada's position in our movement will dilute and it will completely. Nowadays we find that there is certain sannyasi, very well-known sannyasi in Iskcon. He's propagating, when we sing Mangal Arati Samsara Davanal song, he said this is not a Prabhupada song. Can you believe that? And he says, after when you finish the last line, Yasya Prasad Bhagavat, and then Dhyans Tuams Yasya Sri Sandam, Vande Guru Ho Sri Chandara, you directly must go to Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Don't even sing Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale. Or don't sing Jaya Prabhupada. What has happened? He was one of those personalities who propagated in changing Prabhupada's books. Such weakness has infiltrated like the enemy lines the enemies can infiltrate into into our camp. That's how the Maya has infiltrated in the heads of some people. Those persons who are guiding us, we have to be extremely careful. We have to be very, very respectful. But they are our mentors or our counselors or our teachers, but not Shiksha Gurus. Some may not like this because they accept that position because everybody wants to become Guru. It feels good. Because instead of becoming Das Anudas, we become Boss Anubas. Because we find that some devotees ask me, Prabhu, you have mentored us for so many years. Now I'm now moved to another city. One Mataji a few years ago told me, So I moved. She used to come to Chicago, where I used to live, along with the whole crew. She was in Air India. Then she took to Krishna consciousness nicely. Every time the Air India crew came, they used to come to my apartment and we used to discuss Krishna consciousness. Many questions were asked. So she and maybe a couple others, they became very serious and eventually ended up taking initiation. And then she said, Prabhuji, I would like to do Bhakti Shastri course. I said, very good, do it. Do all the courses. But after doing the course or during the course, if your ahankar is going to increase that I'm better and I've become a jnani, then the whole purpose of this Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedant is vifal. It is useless. When we take these courses, we have to ask our question and remind ourselves a million times, am I getting closer to Krishna? Am I becoming humbler? If that is not happening, and if we see the opposite of that, then we have become simply jnanis, not bhaktas. Why? Very simple answer. Somebody asked me, well, how can you say that? So I said, in the beginning also said that the words of Krishna, the name of Krishna, the form of Krishna, the paraphernalia of Krishna, the dham of Krishna is Sri Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita or the Shastra is Sri Krishna. Not it's a book. It's not a book. It is Sri Krishna. We should never use the words that I'm reading Bhagavad Gita or reading Bhagavatam. I'm serving Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm serving Bhagavad Gita. Little words will change our consciousness for the better. When somebody asks you, so Prabhuji, how long have you been in our Iskcon movement? Oh, I've been a devotee for 20 years. And when I heard that, oh my goodness, you're already a devotee. You are branding yourself as a devotee. How can you do that? Huh? When we have to introduce ourselves, you have to say, I'm trying to become a devotee. Let others call us devotees. Where is that humility? And this is the song. In Sharanagati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written in 6 different branches. He has written this song. 6 from Hari Bhakti Vilas. What is those 6 branches? Sharanagati means surrender of the highest extent, which is not found anywhere else in any other sampradaya. That is why I say we are so fortunate. Take full advantage of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya school, Iskcon. This college, which gives us the highest education. So, what does the word Sharanagati mean? Anybody in this esteemed audience? That is the symptoms. That is the symptoms of Sharanagati. I understand. I already said that. The 6 branches of Sharanagati are from Hari Bhakti Vilas. And you spoke the slok. That's very nice, Prabhu. But you did not listen to my question carefully. What does Sharanagati mean? See, the problem with us is we all, whatever little we know, we want to spit it out so that everybody will, appreciate us. That is not the goal of bhakti. And once I explain the meaning very quickly of this song, where we will have to examine ourselves, where we are, we will feel like jumping in a well, considering, what the position. Yes, Prabhuji. That everybody almost does, whether they are Christians, they're believing in God, or they're Muslims, they're believing in Allah. They surrender to the will of Lord, whatever Lord they are worshipping. Even within Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma, they have come to Sharan. But Sharanagati means, yes, Prabhuji, Seva is there in all. Whoever who has some surrender will always do some Seva. Yes, Prabhu? Everybody takes shelter. I just mentioned that in different words you are putting the same question or the statement. Everybody, whether they are Christians, if they are believers of Christ, then they serve Christ. They serve the Christian community or their Vaishnavas, followers of Christ. So here Sharanagati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains Sharan plus Agati. It is a combination of 2 words. Sharan means shelter, which everybody takes, whatever faith they are following. And Agati means what? Not that Agati of fall down. Not Adogati. Gati means movement. And Agati means no movement. Solid like the Himalayan mountain. Whether you crush me, you embrace me. Ashlishapadartam pinashtumam. Adarshanam marmahatam karudva. Yatha tatha va vidato lampato. Mat prananatha sevana para. Whether you kick me or embrace me, O Krishna, you are my master, birth after birth after birth after birth. This is Srimati Radharani speaking in Chaitanya Sishtastakam. In the mood of her mood is already obtained by Mahaprabhu. So many wonderful things are there in our Gaudiya Vaishnavism that we should be eager within our hearts. But that eagerness and desire would only come when we associate with such devotees who can kindle that fire. We have a spark, but when somebody fans it, it becomes a blazing fire. So that blazing fire is only obtained when we associate with such uh, Vaishnavas who can give us that. So what I was saying is, Sharanagati means that kind of surrender. Like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gai Gora Madhura Swares, Sukhe Dukhe Bhulo Nako, whether Hari Naam Karo Re, whether in Sukh or Dukh, whether in distress or happiness, never forget Krishna. Normally we see that those who are very distressed in the category of Arti, Arthati, Jnani, Jigyasu, they come more to the temple. When they are distressed, they have some problem. Problem solved, temporary problem solved, then they don't, then Prabhus will ask Mataji, Are, I'm not seeing you anymore on Sundays or whatever. You used to come every day. Oh, yeah, I had some problem, but Krishna is so kind that he has resolved it. So now I will come on Janmashtami. I will come. So Arti category, distressed. Artarthi, no money, come to Krishna. Good job already we have got now no need to come to Krishna. What does Srimad Bhagavatam say? Srimad Bhagavatam says, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje ahituki apratihata jena atma suprasiddhati. That kind of bhakti to Krishna, it has to be ahituki, without any material motivation. Anya vilas tasya, somebody has said that verse earlier. Jnana karmas unavritam anukulena Krishna anushranam tad bhakti ruttam. We have to leave even jnana and karma behind once we enter into the black bhakti platform. And that's exactly what Arjun did. He didn't fight on the platform of karma yoga. He didn't fight on the platform of jnana yoga or dhyana yoga. He fought on the platform of bhakti yoga. Krishna, you want me to fight? Karishya vachanam tava. I will do exactly. Now I have understood what you're trying to say. So, Anukul, whatever is conducive for Krishna, for his happiness, for his sukham, we will do. And there, Krishna means, Prabhupada said, not just Krishna. They're talking about all his personal associates. They're already included. Like Prime Minister is going to America, that's the headline in Times of India or in the Hindu. That means it is naturally understood that the whole plane, including his ministers, his advisors, his own cope, his security personnel, they're all present. So Krishna is never alone. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Swaparsada Siyodham Sahavtari Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kori Banedan Sikai Sharanagati Bhakate Ropra. Please show me this process of Sharanagati. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is pleading such a humble position, and he is none other than Srimati Radharani's Swapaksha, not only Swapaksha Gopi, but he is the Prana Sakhi of Srimati Radharani. So dear. But why? He is so humble. And that is why. Why does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he doesn't want the mood of Nanda Maharaj, Vatsalya Ras. He doesn't want the mood of Sakhya Ras, like Sridham Subal, Madhumangal. He doesn't want any of those rases except he wants the ras of Madhurya Rasa, because they are the pinnacle of Krishna Prema. And that Anarbit Chira, there is another very wonderful verse there. That he came, why? Unato Ujwala Rasa. What is Unato Ujwala Rasa? Now I am asking you. Not only that, it is union also. Jaya Jaya Ujwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar Parkiya Bhave Jaha Vrajeta Prachar. So that Unato Ujwal Ras is the rasa of Madhurya Ras of the gopis of Vrindavan, of the Swapaksha gopis. There are four classifications of gopis groups: Swapaksha, Vipaksha, Tatastha, and Suruda. Swapaksha is all the gopis that are in the service of Srimati Radharani in her own camp. Vipaksha means those who take away Krishna from Radharani. So Chandravali is an example. Radharani is her own cousin. She keeps Krishna Hey, Krishna, you have just come. Look, why don't you have some nice khas sarbat? It's made so nicely. Please have that. Krishna finishes that. Krishna, now please take this nice bhoga. Because she has made very nicely, my maid servant. And I have also made, we have made this very nicely. Keeps him for hours. Won't let him go to Radharani. Transcendental jealousy. It is there. But it is very of very high nature that we should not compare our jealousy that we have. So those are Vipaksha gopis. That is why we don't sing songs that have been sung like personalities like Meera. She is also a pure devotee. I was always been interested in bhajans from the beginning, and I used to love Meera bhajans. I used to sing those, but many years ago I dropped that idea when I heard especially what is the definition of Vipaksha gopi. Meera is Vipaksha gopi. She keeps Krishna away from Radharani. Mere to Girdhar Gopal, only mine, just mine. So that is Vipaksha. One time, Raghunath Das Goswami, he only day he was so austere. He chanted 18, 19 hours just like Haridas Thakur on the banks of Radhakund. No hut, nothing. And he completely simply absorbed himself. And the most he had is 2 cups of buttermilk. That was his meal. And then he would sleep for hour and a half, and again start chanting. So one time, one Brajvasi came to Radhakund and Baba, I brought this buttermilk for you. So you know how we've been to Vrindavan, they still serve dal and all that in donas. Dona is leaf cup, made of leaf. So he brought buttermilk and he was just about to hand it to Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami was such a gentle person, extremely amazing Vaishnava in all. He got upset and he threw away the buttermilk. Take it away from here. And everybody was shocked. What is happening? Das Gosai, how can he get so angry, especially for somebody is bringing his only meal of the day, which is buttermilk? So the explanation that our Acharyas give, that when Das Gosai or Raghunath Das Goswami saw the leaf cup, he immediately recognized that these leaves are coming from the Kunj of Chandravali. So he went hungry that night. He did not take anything. He was so upset. So that is our Gaudiya spirit, Radha Dasyam. We are first Srimati Radharani's and then we are Krishna's. And if we become Radharani's first, then automatically we become first for Krishna also. That is the system in our Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So as I was saying, what attracts Krishna the most is the utmost humility. And nobody is the epitome of humility as Radharani. And that is why when Nandanandan Krishna obtained the bhav of Srimati Radharani, the last 2 verses of the Chaitanya Sistastakam, again, those who are interested, I'm a servant of a website called PureSeva.ca, PureSeva.ca, not .com. CA is for Canada. And it will lead to Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad group. And there you will find there are many seminars on this subject matters, including Chaitanya Sistastakam. If I'm not mistaken, I did it many years ago. 22 sessions, each 2.5 hours each. And whatever little I have in my tiny brains, I could express in 22 sessions. So Chaitanya Sistastakam is a bottomless ocean. If one even gets a little glimpse of it, then one has really got some understanding of pure bhakti. Not by simply just chanting it. It will bring auspiciousness, but the desired result will be only. And then on top of that website, there is join Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad group. So wherever I'm speaking, like right now, it's live. And some devotees who are able to join, they join, or afterwards is automatically there on the, it will be uploaded on the group. So on top it says join Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad group. So if you feel like, most welcome, not a problem. Because we are all one family. And I also would like to see that devotees enter into that mood, what Mahaprabhu really wanted to give us. So humility, Radharani's humility is such. Just think about this. Some people in Vrindavan, very prominent persons, they give the Radhanam as Diksha. chant the holy names of Radha. But Radharani doesn't want that. Radharani is so humble. Just like some humble devotees we see, they don't want to come in the foreground. No need to announce my name that I have cooked today or I have decorated the deities today. No, no, Prabhuji, don't do that. They want to just take a step back. Similarly, Srimati Radharani is the epitome of humility. She doesn't even want her name explicitly expressed in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And the word Hara means Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. Please understand this. Nija means my own. What is my own? And who is speaking this? This verse. Loudly. And who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Which Krishna? Vrindavan Krishna. So when Vrindavan Krishna is saying Nija means my own, just like when somebody comes to your house, you will introduce, Prabhuji, this is my wife, my brother, my sister, my son, my daughter. Introduce the my. So what is that Nija? Nija means my own here. Particular means all those gopis headed by Srimati Radharani. All those manjaris are present in the word Hara. Radharani doesn't want to take the credit alone. These are all very deeper. In Mahamantra Dipika, Srila Jiva Goswami has explained different meanings. It's a bottomless ocean. Just the meaning. Prabhupada gave a very, very wonderful and a simply meaning that we are calling out to Srimati Radharani and we are calling out to Krishna for seva. That is the mood. It's true. But that's not Radharani. Radharani means just like we said, Krishna means Krishna is not alone. So the Srimati Radharani is never alone. All her associates are present with her, especially the Swapaksha gopis. So the Manjaris especially. So when we chant the word Hara, all our acharyas are included in the word Hara. That's why we pray, and then our prayers goes to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. These are some of the secrets. So in Chaitanya Srishtastakam, I've gone into a lot of detail. Those interested can continue with that. But that humility is what attracts Krishna. And that is the reason he wanted the mood of Srimati Radharani. Are tu cheez hai kya? As they say in Hindi. What are you? I cannot even understand you. I would like to understand you from your own perspective, how crazy you are. 3 internal reasons. External reason was to give holy name to everyone. But there were 12 years in Jagannath Puri in the Gambira. He locked himself practically. And he decided, when he decided to go, come become Mahaprabhu, to take her mood, rather than he said, you're crazy. If you are crazy to take my mood, you will really become crazy. You will roll in the dust. You will hurt yourself with small pebbles and thorns. You sure you want to get my mood? He said, yes, I want to. I'm determined. So he said, okay, wait. Let me do something first. Let me wrap myself around you as a shield. That's why the black Krishna became Gauranga. Radharani is Gaurangi. So when you fall down and when you get my mood in separation, you will be crying. You will not know whether you have eaten or not, slept or not. You will be rolling on the ground simply in separation. You will hurt yourself in the process. I love you too much. Let me put a shield around you. And not only that, Radharani sent her best 2 friends, Lalita and Vishaka, in the form of Rai Ramananda and Sarup Damodar Goswami in the Gambira for 12 years. And he said, you make sure. She told Lalita as Sarup Damodar Goswami and Vishaka as Rai Ramananda, make sure that this Nandanandan Krishna, he wants my mood, make sure he's doing properly. That is why they always sang those bhajans from Chandidas, Vidyapati, Jaydev Goswami, very, very high level bhajans of Madhurya Rasa that would fan that fire. The moment that Mahaprabhu, immediately Sarup Damodar Goswami would start singing about the glories of Vrindavan and the Madhurya Rasa interactions in the form of poems. He would sing, and that would escalate the mood like that. And she said one more thing. I will also personally come as Gadadhar Pandit and I will observe you, whether you are getting my mood properly or not. So these are some of the secrets that our Vaishnava Acharyas have revealed. That's why Mahaprabhu used to go every day to Tota Gopinath and listen Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. And they both used to cry. Hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, the pages of Bhagavatam would get wet. And Gadadhar Pandit would explain those rasas that would be in perspective, especially the 10th canto in perspective. Brahmar Geet, Venu Geet, Gopi Geet, all those Panchamahara Swadhyayas from the deepest perspective. Gadadhar Pandit, who is Srimati Radharani herself, would explain that to Krishna. So that mood, it is not just that Krishna feels separation, we feel separation, but also Krishna feels separation from the devotees. We always think that only it is us. No, he is also waiting to meet us. He is also feeling our separation. That is our Gaudiya Vaishnava. So, but unless and until that epitome of humility doesn't come, as Kamla Manjari, the Bhav, just see, although he is most intimate associate of Rupa Manjari, under Rupa Manjari, he is saying, we sang this, Amara Jivana Sada Papirata Nahika Punya Relation. My life, I have not even gathered even an iota of piety, and always my life has been full of papa, of sins. How many of us we think like that? We chant minimum 16 rounds, that too not good rounds. And we think we have achieved so much. And we pat ourselves in the back. Today, I chanted 20 rounds and we will advertise. On Ekadashi, I do Nirjala Ekadashi and 64 rounds. We'll want the whole world to know that. What is that? That is simply Pratishtha. That is not humility. Amar Jivana Sada Papirata Nahika Punyara Lesha. Parera Udvega Diyachi Jayami. I've always given misery to others. Diyachi Jivara Klesha. I've given so much misery to all the jivas. That is our Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Why? Where he learned this? Because he is most intimate servant of Srimati Radharani. Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddhe Yaya Livir Yuktir Apekshanaya Tatrati Dakshadati Vallabhasya Vande Guru Hosar Sarnaravintam. Most intimate. Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddhe. Siddhe means they obtained that highest perfection of what Srimati Radharani and Krishna want without even being told. This morning I was saying there are three kinds of devotees. One devotee is told to do a seva, he'll not do it. I'll do it. Second kind of devotee is whatever he is told to do, only he will do that. So I like to give this example. It's a little funny. One big man who had a big house, big garden. So he wanted to plant some trees. So he engaged 3 gardeners. So first gardener said, your job is to dig a nice hole. Second job was to put the seed. And the third one was to cover it up and pour water. Now the one in the middle one who is supposed to put the seed, he had to go for the call of nature. So what happened? The first one started digging, and whatever seva I was told by the boss, I will do. And the third one is, well, I also do whatever seva my boss told me to cover and close. So sometimes we are like that. Temple president or our leaders tell us, please do the seva. So we will only limit ourselves. Somebody says, Prabhu, can you help me in the kitchen? Prabhu, I finished my seva. So that is not. And the third kind of seva is without telling. Automatically when they do. That's why they are called kinkaris. The manjaris are also known as kinkaris. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in one bhajan, you all know this bhajan? Gopinath, Mama Nivedana Suno. How many have heard that bhajan? So in that he says, Tomara kinkaro yami Gopinath. Oh Gopinath, I am your kinkar. Now what does Gopinath mean? Interesting. I just want to bring that Gaudiya Ras out a little bit. Yes, our scholar Prabhuji. What does Gopinath mean? Yes, you Prabhuji. I don't know your name. What is your name? Satchitananda Vigraha, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I am Satchitananda Das. So I am your Das. Yes, Prabhuji. What does Gopinath mean? Lover of the gopis. Anybody else would like to? Master of the gopis. Anybody else? Matajis are very quiet. How come you are not participating? I would like to see some participant from this side, from the left side, from my left side. Protector of the gopis. Okay. All these are correct answers. But the true Rasik Gaudiya meaning is Gopinath in Sanskrit, grammatically, there might be the same word, but it can be explained in different ways. Like Rameshwar. Now you will get the hint. When Lord Ramachandra performed that Abhishek when he reached the end, there he performed the Abhishek of Lord Shiva. So all the Shaivas, they all and declared, oh, Rameshwar means Lord Shiva is the Ishwar of Rama. Lord Shiva is the Ishwar of Rama. Because Lord Rama did the Abhishekam and he served the Shivlingam. So all Shaivas, they may say, yes, Lord Rama is, Lord Shiva is the master. But to the true Vaishnava, the meaning of Rameshwar means Ram is only Ishwar. So Gopinath means gopis are the Nath. They make Krishna dance as they please. So they are the controllers of Krishna. So that is one meaning of word Gopinath. So the Gopinath Mamanivedha Suno means also, oh gopis, please listen to my fervent prayer. Not only Sri Krishna, but he is addressing that please engage me in the services of Srimati Radharani. So grammatically both are correct. But the higher meaning, that when we hear from Rasik Vaishnavas, when we hear from such nice sources, then it is revealed to them. More than one meaning, but there is a higher purpose or higher meaning. So, what I was saying is that Kinkar means, Kim means what, and Kar means to do. What can I do? What can I do? These little manjaris are always so excited. I finished this seva and almost finished. Now, Lalite, Vishakhe, tell me what else can I do? So thereby, Yaya Alibir Yuktir Apekshaniya, they're always desirous. Apekshina means desired. And Alibir means the gopis. So different gopis that are Varishta gopis like the Ashtasakis, etc., they're constantly asking, what's next? Not tired. I'm finished. Now I'm done with my seva. Kim kara. And that is why Tatrati Dakshadati Vallabha. Therefore, they are most dear to Radha and Krishna. Kinto Brahmaya Priyeva Tasya Vande Guruho Sri Charna. Because of that humility, they attract Krishna's attention. So here he is saying, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that Amar Jivan Sada Pape Rata Nahika Punya Relation, not an iota of punya, and always it's full of papa. I've always given trouble to others and always given trouble to all the jivas. Diyachi jivara klesha. Nija sukha lagi pape nahi dore. To obtain my own sense gratification, I have gone to the lengths of committing sinful activities. Is it not our story? If we are honest to ourselves, how many papas we have committed? Otherwise, why would we be here in the material world? Simple question, simple answer. But we don't think. We think, oh, we have taken to Krishna and now we have joined Iskcon. I have got first initiation. Now I am ready. Pushpak Vimana is waiting for me to take me to Vaikuntha. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what is he saying? Nija sukalagi pape nahi dori doya hina swartha paro. I do not possess any kind of mercy. I am merciless. I am very cruel. Swartha paro. And I am full of selfishness, material selfishness. By the way, the word swartha means, in Bhagavatam, there's another meaning of the word swartha. Nate vidu swartha gadim Vishnu. Most people don't know that the ultimate swartha, swa artha iti swartha, meaning my well-being is Vishnu or Krishna consciousness. But the secondary meaning is the selfish person. There is a small box of sweets that comes in the house. I will eat it all. I will not share with anybody. Selfish. That is one of the meaning of swartha. But the primary meaning of swartha when it comes to Krishna consciousness, swa artha iti swartha. Parasuke dukhi sada mithyavasi. I'm always happy when somebody else is happy. Para means somebody else. Sukhe, I see somebody very happy. And that happens even in our own community. When somebody does some nice seva and everybody's praising, internally we are feeling, Why I am also doing seva? Why I am not? We all have that jealousy in the form of a mustard seed or in the form of a big size football. It is there. That matsar. That is why Srimad Bhagavatam qualification is what? Nirmatsar. We have to be Dharma Projita Kaitavatra Parmo Nirvatsaranam Satam. Those devotees who do not possess any kind of jealousy or envy, only those they can really enter into the purports of Srimad Bhagavatam, understand Srimad Bhagavatam. What is that in Shada Goswami Istakam? Dhira dhira jana priya karo nirmat saro pujito vande rupa sanatana prabhu jugo Sriji Gopalako. Why the highest quality in the six Goswamis, Naradji, etc., those Vaishnavas like Prabhupada, all our acharyas are nirmatsar. The only thing that they want is they want to give us this pure Krishna consciousness, and they are never envious of us. We have to develop these qualities, that humility as mentioned here. Para sukhe dukhi, sada mithyavashi, I am always speaking lies. Even within devotee community, not chanting 16 rounds, but yeah, I finished my 16 rounds. So many, these experiences are there. Never chanted 64 rounds in their life, but they say I chanted 64. Mithyabhasi. Why we have to show what we are not? In fact, we have to show, if we are something, we have to show that we are not that. In the proper way, in the humility. That I am not a devotee. And what chanting I am doing? I am simply thinking of a business. I am thinking of what I am going to eat today while I am chanting. Even if we are doing nice chanting, we should never say that I've done nice chanting. It's okay if we are guiding somebody, we can share some of our personal experience to encourage. But in an open forum, no need to do that. Nija sukha lagi pape nahi dori, doya hina swartha paro, para sukhe dukhi sada mithyavasi, para dukkha sukha karo. And when others are distressed, I am very happy. Somebody is unhappy, then I become happy. That is Maya. It is there in all of us. We cannot deny that. Otherwise, then I will have to offer 108 obeisances to each one of you, anybody who says that they have not felt any of these symptoms in them. Viridya alasya hata sukarya virata akarya udyogiyami. I am completely so lazy, alasya, lazy, always sleepy. Come for Mangalarti? No, not possible. Nidra alasya. We are so lazy. What is the symptoms in Srimad Bhagavatam? Prayana alpa aisha, jana, manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadritaha. These are the symptoms. Manda means lazy. Akarya udyogiyami. Udyog means factory. The word Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is, we are a big factory, not some small shop. Akare, all bad things. Akare udyogiyami. Because what happens in a factory? Wholesale things are made. Big manufacturing unit. So, my heart is a manufacturing unit of all bad things. Akari udyogiyami. Pratishta lagiya. Sounds familiar? So much pratishta. We want our name to come forward. We want us to be, sometimes somebody in recognitions, they forget that today is this many Matajis and Prabhus cooked in the Sunday feast announcement, and they state that one name is not mentioned by mistake. Oh, they didn't mention my name. I was also in the kitchen and I was also cooking. Why didn't mention my name? Maybe they won't say it to somebody, internally crying and crying and crying. Pratishta lagiya. Satya acharana. Very bad behavior. Lobha hata sadakami. And I'm full of material greed. Sadakami, and always, kami means full of sense gratification. Full of sense gratification, sadakami. Eno durjana sajjana varjita. I'm simply a rascal. Durjan. Sajjana Varjita. And the gentlemanly people, they don't associate with me. Sajjana, they give me up. Apradi Nirantara, and I am an unlimited, committing unlimited offenses. This is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Now, unless and until this mood doesn't come in some lifetime, then we will not be able to enter Swapaksha Gopi camp. We will never get rather the Madhurya Rasa Prem. Impossible. So sometimes this is depressing to hear, but this depression is good so that it inspires us, so that we become more humbler. The Dainya Bhavam that is expressed here. Subhakarya Sunya, there is no Shubhakarya, zero. No good deeds. Sada Anarthamana. Always my mind, my heart is full of anarthas. Nana Dukkhe Jara Jara. Now I am engrossed. I am surrounded with so many miseries. And finally he's saying, Bardhyake Akhon, now in my old age, Upaya Vihina, there is no recourse. All my life I lived this nonsensical life. Tate Dina Akinchana. I don't possess anything, no good, nothing, no Krishna consciousness. That is the real meaning of Akinchana. When we don't possess, a beggar. Akinchan means beggar. We are beggars because we don't possess the true treasure of Krishna consciousness. Bhakti Vinoda Prabhura Charane, at the lotus feet of Krishna I am sitting, Kore Dukkha Nivedana, and I am simply speaking my tale of woe, speaking my tale of sorrow. So now, this is our yardstick. Where are we? We have to, I'm not going to ask anybody. We ask ourselves, where do we stand? We become introspective. So we have to be very careful. Our ahankar becomes so much. We join Iskcon and we think that we know it all. Especially we find, one time I went to Chicago temple like I always used to go on Sunday feast. One old Mataji was crying. I will wind up now. One old Mataji was crying. And I approached her. Mataji, what happened? Why are you crying? Nothing, she said. No, please tell me. My son joined Iskcon just 6 months ago. And the Iskcon people are saying, do not worship the demigods. Only worship Krishna. And I had from my mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, some deities of Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesha, etc. And he suddenly went into a fit and he said, only Krishna! And he took all those deities of the demigods and threw it in the garbage. Who said that we cannot appreciate them? Those who are preaching like that, they themselves are neophytes. They are in the service of Krishna. Yat Pada Pallavam Yugam Vinidaya Pumba Dhande Pranama Saye Saganadi Raja. The Durga Devi, Ichha Anurupami Chachestate Sa Govindam Adi Purusham Dhamame. But the mistake that mostly people make in India is that they think that all gods are same. That is the mistake. If we can offer obeisances to each one of us, where we are completely not controlled, we are engrossed in Maya, and we offer respects to each other. Is it wrong to offer respects to Ganesh Ji, Durga Devi, to Mahadev Ji? In fact, a devotee, true devotee will offer obeisances to them and request that please give me your benediction that I can advance nicely in Krishna consciousness. One time Srila Prabhupada, he was in Navadvip and he had all his Western disciples with him. And there is a temple of Praud Maya. Anybody taken darshan there? There is a temple of Praud Maya, Maya Devi. And Prabhupada stopped, that is like Durga Devi's, and offered obeisances with folded hands, and some tears came out of his edge of his eyes. And everybody was looking at each other. But nobody dared ask Prabhupada, what is this? No, worshipping demigods, and here we are saying, Prabhupada, not only folding hands but crying. So then Prabhupada saw that later on and he said, the reason why I bowed down to her, Durga Devi, is Maya Devi. She allows us to preach nicely, to make the temples happen. If she gets upset at us, nothing can happen. So that's why he was praying to Durga Devi that thank you so much. He was expressing his gratitude. But the position of the Devi Devata should be lower than Krishna. Many houses I find that they're either on the same platform or higher. That is an offense. Ekla Ishwara Krishna or Sabhrita. Only one Lord, and all of them are servants. Etacham Sakalapam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. But we are taught right from childhood all gods are one. No, that is a big problem. They are all Vaishnavas. So we have to offer them due respect. Then we can advance. Simply becoming, as they say in Hindi, how many understand Hindi? Please raise your hands. Oh, all of you. So there is a saying, they say, Naya Mullah Jada hi karta hai Allah Allah. Allah, 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 Naya Mullah bana hai na. So we don't want to be those such fanatics. This question was asked by my wife to His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj Ji. He said, सब लोग मेरा फोटो रख रहे हैं ऑल्टर के ऊपर, लेकिन गणेश जी का अगर छोटा फोटो रखना है, महादेव जी का रखना है, तो वो लोग मना करते हैं. देखो कितनी दुर्बलता है. One main principle, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and everybody else is serving Krishna. So nothing wrong with that consciousness. We fold our hands, we offer obeisances, and we ask for their blessings. Whenever there is a big crisis, Lord Krishna approaches Lord Shiva. Amrut Manthan happening, big poison coming first. Nobody can take care of that poison. Mahadevji, can you do the needful? Yes, my dear Lord. Anukulena Krishna Anushilena. I am ready to drink poison for you. So he takes that poison and he keeps it in his throat. He doesn't let it go down. That's why he's known as Nilkant. Why he doesn't let it go down? Because he loves Krishna so much as his expansion, Paramatma is in the heart. I don't want that poison to touch my Paramatma, that burning effect. So he kept it in his throat. That is Mahadevji. Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu. He is the protector of the Dham. In Vrindavan, he is Gopeshwar Mahadev, Bankandi Mahadev. In Barsana, he is near Barsana. And Nandgaon, he is Nandeshwar Mahadev in Nandgaon. Asleshwar Mahadev. In Gokul, he is Chintaharan Mahadev. In Mathura, he is Bhudeshwar Mahadev. In Radhakund, he is Kundeshwar Mahadev. In Govardhan, he is Chakleshwar Mahadev. In Kamyavan, he is Kameshwar Mahadev. How can we disrespect such Vaishnavas who always, he wanted the association of Sanatana Goswami so badly, mosquitoes were bothering. Even today when we go to Mansi Ganga, in the back, the sitting place of Sanatana Goswami is there, Bhajan Stali, and there is this Chakleshwar Mahadev. And Sanatana Goswami used to do wonderful bhajan there. Lord Shiva loved it. Oh, I'm getting the association of a pure devotee. How wonderful. But then the mosquitoes increased and he was getting disturbed, so he decided to go to some other place of Braj. The Chakleshwar Mahadev said, no, please don't keep me away from your association. And immediately he prayed. And Paramatma is there in everybody's heart, even in the heart of mosquito. So then from that day onwards, so that Sanatana Goswami would not be disturbed, no mosquitoes appeared. And even till today, it is said there are no mosquitoes in Chakleshwar Mahadev, in that particular specific area. So these are, Lord Ganesh, he penned the entire Mahabharata. Stenographer, how many hours can they work? 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours? Non-stop. So do you think he doesn't know Mahabharata? He doesn't know about Krishna consciousness. He doesn't know Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. And that stupid boy who had just become a Naya Mullah in Iskcon, he threw away all those demigods into the garbage can. We should recognize. Get mercy from all quarters. It is most needed. But nobody is Matta paratara na kinchit astit dhananjaya. There's nobody equal to me. That principle we should never forget. And that's what we should give others. But not in a fanatical way. Supposing if your mother, grandmother is worshipping Lord Shiva and you tell them, Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna, you know, if they don't accept it, leave them. And when we become good devotees, automatically 21 generations yet to come, yet 21 generations in the past, like Prahlad Maharaj, they all got delivered. We try to preach to our own family, sometimes they don't listen. Our own dear friends. We are not fanatics. Try it, otherwise, leave it. Give them some prasadam. Fanaticism is very dangerous. That will cause offenses. Book distribution month is going on, so many of them take that color of fanaticism. I've seen it with my own eyes. One time, one Mataji, who is supposed to be the number one book distributor amongst Matajis in the Toronto area, she came to Niagara Falls and she went behind one Western body devotee. Take this Bhagavad Gita, take it, it's very good. It's a book on yoga. What kind of yoga? No. This is the nonsense when we preach like that. Preach as it is. Take some very important points of Bhagavad Gita and give it to them. Don't immediately when this Westerner will open, where are the asanas? I don't see that. The first thing comes to mind, that means we are cheating people. Then the first impression they will get that these Iskconites are cheaters. The Iskconites are pushers. We are not that. The first principle of book distribution is that when we approach somebody, always think within our hearts that we are your well-wishers. I have got something wonderful that I received in my life. I want to give it to you. I'm distributing the mercy of Krishna. When we approach that person, even without saying anything, that person is not going to stop. Maybe he sees our attitude, he will stop. Supposed to stop for 1 minute, he will stop for 10 minutes. He will say, okay, give me. You give that book. And that's not our job. We are not like that washing powder person that we received over 50 rupees and now we go to the next door. We are not salesmen. We are really Surut Sarva Bhutana, Mamayam Sajiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatan. Krishna says, we are part and parcel, so we should have that compassion and that friendship. Surut Sarva Bhutana in our hearts. You may have some questions, because when I first read the Bhagavad Gita, I had many questions and so many people helped me understand that. Can I get your phone number? If he's not willing to give or she's not, don't. But can you take my number? Keep a little diary. Tear one small page. Immediately write your number. Put it in the Bhagavad Gita and give it to them. Maybe you will have a question. So that person will immediately think that he has already pocketed the 200 rupees that I gave him, but he's still standing and he's asking me, if there's any doubts, you can reach me. Then slowly they will come to the temple, Sunday feast, etc., and they will become devotees. They will take initiation. That is the proper procedure. Otherwise, what have we read? All these so-called Bhagavad Gita distributors, they have not even understood the fundamental principle, which is chapter number 3, where Karma Yoga starts. Chapter number 2 is the summary of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 3, sometimes you will find that there will be no response. In the whole day we try to distribute, nothing happens. It's all right. Why should we get attached to the results? And if we distribute 100 Bhagavad Gitas, why should we get attached to that result as well? Pass it on to Krishna. Yad karosi, yad asnasi. Karmane vadi karaste. That sloka. Ma karma phal hetu bhur. Do not be attached to the results. So this is Krishna consciousness. With that attitude, if we serve, Srila Prabhupada will be most pleased. Krishna will be most pleased. Even though we may not be able to distribute one single Gita. But that person will take a long-lasting impression, not the negative impression that Iskconites are pushy. They only want money. We are representatives of His divine grace, just like the representatives of every country is in an embassy, an ambassador. We are ambassadors of Prabhupada. So we want to give the best to all. That should be our attitude. And humility will bring that. Unless and until that humility is not there, then we will become jealous. Somebody speaking well, oh, like Prabhupada said, jealousy. One last example and I will end. Really end. There was one judge. Prabhupada said there were two friends. So one became a very big judge in the Supreme Court. So somehow or the other, the second friend, they were in school, they told the third friend, you know, over that, Rajesh, he has become Justice Rajesh, big judge. So he said, not possible. He cannot be. He was jealous always. From childhood, he was jealous of this Rajesh. Not possible. He could not become judge. So he said, no, no, no. I was there in Supreme Court and I personally saw him. And I even shook his hand. And then what he said, you know, then perhaps he is not getting salary. The epitome of jealousy. So, first thing we should always, if somebody does a better, we should always appreciate all the Vaishnavas. Even if they have some shortcoming or shortfall, always highlight the good points in them. And if we really like something from them, always learn something from them. Doesn't matter how many years we are in Iskcon. Nowadays, so many people, they only come and sit on the Vyasas and then they have to give class. Otherwise, they don't come. But we should respect whoever is sitting here. Even if it's a newcomer, maybe it's his first lecture. What is the first thing he does? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, opens Prabhupada's Bhagavatam as an example, and reads Prabhupada's verses, translation, and Bhaktivedanta purport. It is not his own concoction, it is his divine grace. And then afterwards he speaks something. Maybe you may like it, you may not, but there's always one thing or two things that you may find that you may have never heard. That's something you can take home. That's something you can share with others. So this is our glorious movement, not something Mahaprabhu's movement of full of love. And that is what we all need to be there. That's why Mahaprabhu will be most pleased. Otherwise, we have just wasted a seat, like in IIT. Thank you all very much for patiently listening. I don't know, Prabhuji, if we have time for one or two questions or not. Oh, there are two hands. May I? I take Prabhuji's permission first. His hand went up first, and I will come to you. Please, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. State your name first and loudly, because then it will catch, and online listeners can also listen. Satyaprasad Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you said Ms. Radharani is in the topmost, like in our society, we give priority to Ms. Radharani is the first, and like something you said, it means even if you want to reach to Krishna, you have to go through the Radharani. So that means Radharani holds the equal importance, right?
This you will not understand. You are not ready for it. I'm being very honest, and I don't have the time to explain it. I'm not trying to be rude, but this, in order to understand this special subject matter, one, you will have to chant many rounds for many years, read Srila Prabhupada's books, and the answers are there. Honestly speaking, this is a very long answer for this. So just accept it, and I apologize. I'm not able to explain this to you. There is no such thing as superiority. Radharani is the most superior. There's no question of equality with Krishna. In one line, I can answer you that. She is the most superior. That is why Krishna wanted to become Mahaprabhu. That means we have to pay attention to the katha. Supposing if a child says, I want to become father, like Papa, because he is such a wonderful engineer, such a big doctor, I want to be like him. So when Krishna himself is saying, I want to be like Radharani, that means Radharani is superior or not? Yes or no?
Yes, I agree.
So was that your question?
My question. So then why are we not celebrating this Radhashtami as Janmashtami?
Good question. Janmashtami is Madhav Tithi. Madhav Tithi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori. And Shuddha Bhakata Charane Ridu Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioned in their song. So Madhav Tithi means one that Krishna likes, and Madhav Tithi means Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima. I think my phone fell. Later on, we'll find it. Gaur Purnima, all the appearances day of the Lord and his expansions. Ram Navami, Balram Jayanti, all those are Madhav Tithi. So they are the mother of devotion. And that is a part of Vaidhi Bhakti. It's important. Unless and until Raganuga Bhakti is Radha Dasya. We are not qualified for it yet. We will never be able to, at this stage, we will understand that. But on an informational level, I mentioned it because then that aspiration will come and we will work towards our goal, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants. So your question, again, can you repeat it? Why we are not celebrating Radha Ashtami as much with gusto? Because most people have no idea of the position of Srimati Radharani even within Iskcon. 99.99% don't know because they don't read Prabhupada's books. Chaitanya Charitamrita is full of the glories of Mahaprabhu and full of glories Rai Ramanand and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's conversation. Read it 500 times if you have the time. Then perhaps we will get a glimpse of how great Srimati Radharani is. So if people don't know, then they will not celebrate. If you don't know what my birth date is, as an example, you cannot celebrate my birthday even if you want to. I hope I was in a very nutshell. So they don't know the glories of Srimati Radharani. And Prabhupada systematically wanted us to get that. And before that, Prabhupada left. Prabhupada said that I want to even give you translations of the books of the Goswamis. I want to give you Rama and Mahabharata. But Prabhupada gave the most essential and then he wound up his pastimes and he left. But then he left us behind and the Varishta Vaishnavas. What are you going to do? Are you going to read my books properly and give that to the rest of them? Where is your own effort? That own effort has to be made, and that own effort made, then the mercy will flow. But we don't want to make effort. Some of them, they tell me when I speak like this, Prabhuji, this is too complicated, don't say it. And we just speak something simple. In my mind, I say, Prabhu, you're not interested, don't think others are not interested. Everybody's heart, Krishna is present. Krishna Bhakti, Sabbu Karuna, Shravanadi, Chitte Karoe, Hridaye, Uday. We have not to get Krishna consciousness or bhakti from outside. It is there within our hearts. But the pure Vaishnava comes and he rekindles that fire. We don't have to get it externally from anywhere. It manifests within our heart when the pure Vaishnavas or those who are following pure Vaishnavas, they rekindle that fire or that spark within us. By Shravan, Adi means hearing, chanting, remembering. Shravan Adi, it manifests, re-manifests in our hearts. So yes, we have a long way to go. But at least I have been given on an informational platform that this is what Gaudiya Vaishnavism is. This is what our Gaudiya Acharyas like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur are. And this is how humble they are. And that humility is the greatness of Srimati Radharani. That is why she is more greater than Krishna. She surpasses Krishna in all respects. In all respects. Yes, Prabhuji, your question.
You said acharyas or manjaris. So in this relation, I have three bits. First bit, do you include the Prabhupada disciples in the list of acharyas? If yes, then how do you explain the pardons? And the third bit is...
Good question. You're trying to put me in a spot.
No,
but that's okay. I will answer it.
The way I am coming there is because our repeat brothers have this argument. I have seen some videos of them. So that they say that Prabhupada is the only perfect person and rest all...
I agree with them on that. 100%, 1000%.
That's why
let's answer part A. B and C you can, because I will forget. I'm getting older. So, nobody, I said that in the beginning. You came late, I think. I said that in the beginning. There's nobody who can compare to Srila Prabhupada. Okay? So, if that is that, then how we can, our acharyas, they have sought Prabhupada. We have, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said that we offer respects to all the Vaishnavas according to their position. So our Diksha Guru is also extremely, we offer our obeisances, we offer obeisances to all the Vaishnavas to develop that humility. But to say that they are manjaris or not, I cannot answer that because that depends on their personal sadhana. Okay, answering that question, that whether they are manjaris or not. Prabhupada said one wonderful thing, that if you chant minimum how many rounds? Wrong, 16 good rounds. And you follow the four regulative principles, you will go home back to Godhead in this lifetime. Prabhupada didn't say you will go home back to Golok Vrindavan. Prabhupada didn't say that. He's the most perfect. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. Chitte te kori aikya. No mistakes there. Why? Because in all our life, if we study Bhagavad Gita and we are on the Vaidhi Bhakti platform and we don't enter Raganuga Bhakti at some point, then at the time of death, Haribol. Quiet, please. Thank you. See, I don't sit with notes. I'm not a shloka loka that I have many shlokas in front of me. It is manifesting spontaneously by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. And when somebody distracts, it not only distracts me, but it distracts the flow. And we are already much over time. So, Mataji, please, these two girls are very lovely, but you have to train them. Okay? Or you sit outside or listen online. Prabhupada always said that it is the responsibility of mother. If the child is crying or is distracted, then we have sense as adults. They don't. So please don't take this wrong. Please take it in the right perspective. And I'm repeating Prabhupada's words. This is not mine. Sorry, where were we? Before I got distracted. No. I'm asking him. Where is your microphone? Huh? Where is that microphone?
When I got distracted.
Yeah, this happens. This is not bhakti when we do that. Sarvena sukhi bhavantu, and I only be sukhi and let the rest of them suffer. This is not our Vaishnava dharma. Yes, Prabhuji.
What is the point in reading one level? Is in this lifetime we don't reach the Ragana Bhakti level beyond that.
Why worry? How many lifetimes it came to the point of entering into Iskcon? We cannot even count. That is why it is called Anadikal, since time immemorial. And what is the rush? None of our acharyas prayed going back to Godhead. Perform your service in such. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, you perform your seva in such a way that whenever Krishna is pleased, he will see you. None of our acharyas books they have said anywhere, show me and I will agree with you then. They have asked that I want to go back to Godhead. Back to Godhead is just like telling the child, you do your homework in the beginning days and I will give you an extra hour of playtime. That is the incentive. Swargeshu nargeshu apavargeshu samatulya darshina. That is a true Vaishnava. Whether I get entrance into Swarga, whether I go to Narka or Apavarga means Vaikuntha. Samatulya darshana is equal. Simply, Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, two great prayers. If we can remember that, then that is Gaudiya Bhav. That no material desire should enter in my heart. Number one. Number two, my Guru Maharaj Naraji travels all over the world making so many people Krishna conscious. I would like to assist him. That is the highest prayer for each one of us. Going back to Godhead. No, Prabhupada said that you will go back to Godhead. That means Vaikuntha is a very big place. That is back to Godhead too. 3/4 of the creation is Vaikuntha. And possibly, we can end up in Dwarka or Mathura if we are reading Bhagavad Gita till the end of our life, but not Golok Vrindavan. Vrindavan is not a piece of cake. Raghunath Das Goswami has mentioned that in Manasiksha. Unless and until we come to the point of Raganuga Bhakti and get trained under Vrajvasi, we will not enter, that Raganuga Bhakti will never happen. And Raganuga Bhakti is not something that we can get in classes like Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, etc. It just happens, it will manifest. Just like a boy and girl fall in love. I've said this many times. It's just they know that they have fallen in love. They don't take classes how to fall in love. You get the point? So when we have practiced our Vaidhi Bhakti so nicely, it will manifest in our hearts. Adha Shraddha, first we have faith. Sadhu Sang, second step. Bhajana Kriya. Sadhus tell us, follow the four regular principles, chant the holy names. That is Bhajan Kriya. More serious, take initiation. When we do that, next stage, Anartha Nivritti. After Anartha Nivritti, real bhakti starts. When all nonsense stops. all the unearthers disappear. Then we come into Nishtha and Ruchi. And Nishtha and Ruchi stage, at that time, we get that lobha, that greed of Raganuga Bhakti. But none of us have seen Nishtha and Ruchi. So how we can get the lobha of Raganuga Bhakti? Sri Radhika Madhavi Raparya Madhuri Leela Guna Rupa Nam Nam Prati Shana Swadana Lolupasya Vande Guruho Sri Charnarvinda. Our Acharya is there speaking Kratha externally also to the Vaidhi Bhaktas, but with a lot of greed. And within their own Raganuga Bhakti, there's a lot of greed. Sri Rupa Goswami says, what is the price of pure bhakti? Everything has a price. This phone has a price. This microphone has a price. This shawl has a price. What is the price of Shuddha Bhakti? Yes, who said that? Tatra lolyam api ekamulyam. Only pure greed is the only price that one can, and if you can purchase it right away. Shuddha Bhakti. So understand, until that greed doesn't arise, Raganuga Bhakti will never arise. So I cannot answer that question. Raganuga Bhakti is not something that people advertise. It is their internal mood. So any of the gurus can have that in our movement. But I cannot answer on their behalf. Neither they advertise it. So if they have that internal mood, certainly they will join Srila Prabhupada and our Acharyas who are Manjaris in Radha Krishna's Nitya Leela. But if they have failed to do so, and most of them, they are still on the platform of preaching Bhagavad Gita and never speaking about Raganuga topics, even on special days, just giving information. Like Naradji, how did Krishna just appeared just for 1 millisecond and he gave him that lobha. That's how he became Narada. So even it is the job of each Vaishnava to properly explain these subject matters so that we all get that lobha. So I hope I was able to answer. Part B. Go ahead, Prabhuji. Those who are not real gurus, Prabhupada has said that many times. A real guru never falls down. There's no question of fall down of a real guru. So Ritviks are right about it. They have taken those points from Srila Prabhupada's books. But they are most wrong on a very important point about initiation. It doesn't mean that if I have not taken initiation of Srila Prabhupada is not my Acharya. He is indeed my Acharya. As a matter of fact, my Guru Maharaj used to say that I don't know if I can take you to Krishna or not, but I can try my best to take you to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. That was his mood. During initiation, my Guru Maharaj used to say, everybody is made to recite what are the 4 regulative principles and how many minimum rounds you will chant. But my Guru Maharaj used to make us take a 5th vow, never leave Iskcon. Iskcon has everything. We have problems. Which family doesn't have problems? Tell me one family that doesn't have problems. This is our family. We don't leave our family if we have problems. No. We resolve them. There are higher people who are higher Vaishnavas, higher Varishta Vaishnavas. And if there is nobody, let's say, hypothetically speaking, we have Prabhupada's books. They will guide us for 10,000 years minimum. But definitely we should respect everyone. What to talk about or somebody who has given us the initiation, and especially, even so more, the Siksha. But don't make this word Siksha Guru so cheap. No. Very cheaply they say, this is my Siksha Guru, they introduce me. Acha, very nice. Does he have all these qualities? As mentioned by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So be very careful when we choose our words. Never say, I am a devotee. I'm trying to be a devotee. Please bless me. Anybody praises us, immediately we should offer that praises to our Guru Parampara. Right away. Don't keep it even for 1 second. If we keep those praises, one day it will become ahankar. That will become pratishtha. Then we will lose that spirit of dasanudas. Everybody should serve me. I am the better speaker. I am the kathakar. I know better than you. That will defeat the purpose. Then we will remain jnanis. But that is not the whole purpose. Even on Bhagavad Gita level, beyond Gyan, we have to go. Eventually, Bhakti and Shuddha Bhakti as given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nowhere, 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 my dear friends. Nowhere, my dear Prabhus. Nowhere, my dear Matajis. Nowhere. Never, never, ever we will find such an opportunity. Why do you think Venkat Bhatt, who was a Pakka Sri Sampradaya, not too far from here, I believe, and his brothers, Prabodhananda Saraswati, Brahmavadis, it is said, they converted. Prakashananda Saraswati, Mayavadi, Venkat Bhatt converted to Vaishnavism, Gaudiya Vaishnavism. There was a nice debate between Mahaprabhu and Venkat Bhatt about which one is better. There was a nice debate between in Hera Panchami Utsav during Jagannath Rath Yatra between Srinivas Acharya, who represented Lakshmi Devi, who came from Dwarka or Vaikuntha, and with Swarup Damodar Goswami, who was speaking on behalf of the Brajvasis. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved that conversation. Read it in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srinivas Acharya acted like, our Vaikuntha is much better than this Brajvasis. Brajvasis don't even have shoes. They are simply eating a lump of butter and some roti, chapati. But look at the Vaibhav we have. The opulence in Vaikuntha is made of full of gold. Like that, such arguments, both parties were arguing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simply relished it. And finally, when Swarup Damodar Goswami said that a drop of Vraja, the opulence that is there in Vraja, of Vrindavan, cannot even compare with the cumulative opulence of entire Vaikuntha. We think that there is no opulence in Vraj, only in Vaikuntha. No! There is so much opulence. What is Kalpavriksha? They don't have that many Kalpavrikshas in Vaikuntha. What is Chintamani? Every little dust particle is Chintamani. Namami Ishwaram Satchitananda Rupam Lasata Kundalam Gokule Vrajamana. That Satchitananda I am interested, not the one in Vaikuntha Lokas, the one in Gokul. He specifies Satyavrat Muni. That is why our Gaudiya Vaishnavas like Damodar Ashtakam. Damodar Ashtakam is there on the website also. Many kathas are there. You all can go meticulously. PureSeva.ca. So thank you very much. Any other questions? Finally, finished? One more. Yes, Prabhu.
Like, even though it's been only 1 year for me, even though it's Hare Krishna Guruji. So even though it's been only 1 year for me, but I got to hear about so many explanations, and like today only I got to know about a different explanation of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and so many other things. So,
I'm not even scratched a little head of the surface. But anyways, I appreciate you appreciating it.
So I want to know, I want to know the exact absolute meaning of all the things. I mean, even though I'm hearing
How many rounds are you chanting, Prabhuji?
16.
16. Very nice. Continue chanting very nicely. Read Srila Prabhupada's books. Read Srila Prabhupada's books. Read Srila Prabhupada's books. And everything will be revealed to you. And then later on, if you have further queries, it's a very good thing. How I can advance, how I can. But just the thought is not good enough. You have to follow the process. The thought is nice when one boy and one girl gets married, and immediately everybody is after them when we will get a now grandchild. The parents are. But minimum process is like minimum 9 months you have to wait. The utsaha, dhairya, nischaya, like Rupa Goswami says, we should always maintain that. And it will be. Trust me. Not that today we have that spark and tomorrow, like a wave, it comes crashing down. Then again, 5 days later, again the wave rises. No. That equilibrium will be reached as we progress. Krishna consciousness is dynamic. Yes, we will get it, Prabhuji. As long as you stick to the process, guaranteed you will get everything that you are looking to get. We need to what? Yes. So if we don't find the right person to hear, we read Prabhupada's books. Hearing and reading Prabhupada's books is not different. More than sufficient. More than sufficient.
We don't really, I mean, in this stage, I mean, this very lower stage, I can't really find out as a proper speaker to hear from. So,
We should not be so judgmental, number one. I just said earlier, even if there's somebody new sitting, you'll always learn something. Okay, that is humility. That is also penance to sit in the class. Unless you so many so-called leaders and brahmacharis, they never come down. They are in the sun, sitting in the temple, and only 4 people are hearing Bhagavatam, and there are 40 in the ashram. No, that is Prabhupada's order that everybody should attend more morning program. Minimum whatever you can, but at least one part of the program. Unless, of course, health reasons or it's too late, and but otherwise, out of 365 days, at least we should be able to attend 300 days. We don't want to do that, and we want Golok. We want Vraj Prem. Very seriousness will be required. Otherwise, we will forget. Even entering Vaikuntha is a big thing. Even if we will reach there or not is doubtful. But Prabhupada is so kind. He will inspire us. If it won't happen in this life, next life, next life, next life, but once we are on the path. But the thing is that as much as we can get in this life, next life we will start from where we left off. But next time, even if we get human birth due to whatever little bhakti we have done, what is the guarantee that we will not do satsang? We may do kusanga. Then again we will glide down into the 8,400,000 species of life. So keep that spirit in our hearts. I want to advance. Are we crying? Like Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj is saying, Krishna, please send me somebody. That real genuine cry is there, that it will happen. And we have to inspire each other. If we hear something very nice, genuine, share it. Not that I will keep it with me. So it will happen, Prabhuji. I'm telling you it will happen. But keep that spirit up, that utsaha and nischaya. Be determined. Yes?
that means I don't need to worry much about that sadhu sangha. I mean, if I
No, who said not to worry about that? That utsaha and nischaya is for sadhu sangha.
had
Yeah, in one sense, no, but the constant worry is also good because Paramatma will note that you are consistent. Not like a child who likes the toy for 1 minute and then he will throw it away. You can, if there is further discussion, we can talk later. Okay? It's very late, and I think devotees may have to go home, or tomorrow is a holiday, right away, right? So that is why you are saying, oh, okay. Yes, anybody else? Last question? Mataji has one question, Prabhu. अब प्रभु जी कर ही डालो, इतना वेट किया है. Let us satisfy as much we can. Yes, Mataji. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. All glories to Gurudev. All glories to all the wonderful Vaishnavas.
Introspecting and developing qualities like humility and compassion. So what I want to understand is that we have to make an extraneous effort to imbibe
Of course.
qualities.
Of course, we have to make an effort. Even to earn some money, how much effort we make? Even to earn some good degree, how much effort we have to make? How many years in school and college? Burning the midnight oil, as they say. Huh? So naturally, it's not just got a Marathi mein kahat hai. How many people know Marathi? Oh, so many. असलिया देव तो देव खाट्यावरी भगवान है तो हम खाट पे बैठेंगे कुछ करेंगे नहीं आ जाएगा अपने आप
Actually, Prabhuji, like I heard from devotees that these qualities would manifest automatically as and when we.
It will manifest if we have the strong desire. Most important part is strong desire. And that strong desire is manifest within when we have that proper association. It's symbiotic. Understand this word? Symbiotic or symbiosis? Both are dependent on, and the moment we get that association, don't leave it. Never. We should not look at it from a narrow tube. If I see, I can only see this Prabhuji here with the glasses. When I open my hands, I can see all of you. So we are all God brothers and God sisters, even if we are not initiated. That is my Siddhant personally, and I have heard it from Gaudiya Vaishnavas, because come se come, they have taken shelter of His Divine Krishna Prabhupada. They come to the temple, they are sitting, they are serving. We are all God brothers and God sisters under the divine umbrella of His Divine Krishna Prabhupada. Thank you. Nice question. But no, don't let that fire go away. Even you. Keep it on. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Gaudiya Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Gaur Premanande.
That we also. Prabhupada, let us thank Prabhupada by loudly chanting one time.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. And I would like just 1 second, I'll take, for patiently sitting, hearing, bearing with me. Therefore, we must all chant for you. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Please continue.
So, we are very grateful to Prabhuji for actually speaking spontaneously for such a long duration. Of course, generally, no one has that kind of energy and enthusiasm to speak. So we can understand from Prabhuji how much relishment he must have having for Srila Prabhupada books. I was remembering one thing from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prem Prachar and Pashand Dalan. So actually, Prabhuji has covered. He was actually changing like a waves between both of them. Sometimes he's crushing Pashand Dalan, and sometimes he is actually glorifying the Madhurya Bhagavatam, love of Krishna, Prem Prachar. So both he was doing. So I was, it's very our great fortune that we had Prabhuji today. So we pray to the Lordship that may Prabhuji come again and again and bless his association. Also, especially the enthusiasm is contagious. So by associating with Prabhuji, we can also have similar kind of enthusiasm. So with this inspiration, with this prayer, let us pray to the Lord, and also let us thank Prabhuji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So a few small announcements that book marathon is still going on. We have till Jan 15. Please continue to join, and we have an upcoming big festival, that is Vaikuntha